maybe because of all the trauma I went through as a kid, I chose a profession that just deal with trauma. I don't know. I think trauma attracts trauma sometimes.
Do you feel like it's easier for you to deal with that trauma?
I don't. I want. I think I never want to normalize trauma. I don't think it's easy to deal with, but um, well, in a way, yes, I think it's easier to deal with. But the true question I need to ask myself: am I really dealing with it? I need to look at my health. I need to look at my outlets. Am I drinking too much? Like, what am I really doing to deal with the problem? And a lot of these issues I do have, I haven't really faced it. And that's just me being vulnerable and honest, which we said we will always be honest with the TPW family. So no, I don't really feel like I'm dealing with it, but I've normalized it, which I don't think you should do. I've normalized it. I made it a part of me. And for some reason, I always go back to it, even when I want to step away from it. And I go back to it at the sacrifice of my mental health, at the sacrifice of my peace. And sometimes I just, you sometimes you help people and you love what you do, but somebody has to suffer for it. And most of the time I let it be me. Because I can't let it be my patients. I can't let it be the babies. I can't let it be the parents I work my behind off for. I can't let it be my wife. I can't let it be my kids. So most of the time I take it on the chin. And, as I start to get more mature, as I get older, as I start to have these real conversations about mental health, which sometimes in the Black society growing up, mommy, daddy secrets is mommy, daddy secrets. You shut up, you keep your head down, you don't talk about what goes on in this house. And as I've been entering this new age and this new person I'm trying to become, is like, I've been seeing what, dealing with trauma and dealing with all these things has started to do to me. And I don't like it. So, I need to start having these conversations. I've talked to my parents about being more vulnerable and being more open about my story and my truth. And I hope that they never see it as disrespect, or I hope they don't think that, I'm trying to create a platform based on this sad story, which it's not. It's just, this is therapeutic for me, So it's bigger than the podcast, it's bigger than the audience. I don't care if 7 people watch this video. It's about me. It's not about nothing else.
I see. So going back to that idea of trauma attracting trauma, do you feel like is that the reason why you tend to try to help the underdog?
I think it's survivor's guilt. Sometimes when you grow up, I look at most of my best friends. Most of them are either, dead, in jail, or at some point throughout our journey, I just couldn't relate to them no more. I just couldn't do the things they were doing no more because I had kids early. I wanted to be a good role model for my kids. I wanted to, just try to continue to grow. And then sometimes when you come from certain environments, people are constantly just staying in this cycle, and you gotta learn to separate yourself. And but at the same time, I always ask myself, why me? God, why was I chosen? Why did Amani come to me and say, hey, you should apply to MS Square and go to Phillips Academy boarding school in the summer?
Yeah.
It's just a random conversation. Why all my 3 friends, why was I the only one at 14, 13, 14 to fill out the application and try it? I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. It wasn't that I was thinking sharp at the time. I just did it. I didn't know at that point what going to that boarding school every summer and what that education would do for me, how it would change my life. Why did I get to meet a Deco? Why did I get an amazing debate coach that never gave up on me, that took me to Harvard, that took me to Yale, that allowed me to debate at the highest stages, and almost be the first Black person to win the Harvard Invitational. Like, how did that person cross my path? How did I end up going to FDA when it was prestigious at that time? Why was I selected into that school?
Do you still ask yourself that question? Why do I, why did Bobby come my way for me to help make a change?
Even that, like, was I randomly stopped on the street by Richard to get introduced to help with Bobby? Like,
will you ever stop asking yourself why and just start accepting that, wow, this is like, I don't know if this is a good hand or good fate, but I'm just going to make the best out of it?
I think for my mental health, I need to stop, feeling guilty about me being able to come out of my circumstances and always feeling like I'm putting myself back into those circumstances to help people that just probably don't want to change, to help family members that just don't get it or just don't have the work ethic that I have, or constantly beating myself up trying to make people see that they are special, to see that your circumstances don't define you. I think it's gonna take time, but some days I just don't know why I feel guilty about being in the position I am. You know, and it's weird. You think you're supposed to, the more you climb, the more powerful you get, quote unquote, whatever that means, or the more money you make, you think, oh, I'm supposed to find happiness. But it feels like I get more guilty. I feel more guilty. I feel more sad about it. Maybe because people are not coming with me like I want them to. You know, it's like, okay, if I got $1 million and I got a mansion, but I'm the only person in the house, and all the people I love about is doing the projects, did I really win? If I go get on the jet and I'm chilling, I can go travel the world, but I'm doing it by myself. Did I really win? You know, but at what point are you going to keep bringing people up? Because the more I put people in my circle that are just not doing their share part, the more I'm just going to keep giving. And there's no cutoff point on when you're a giver. You know, Nobody says, yo, you helped pay my mortgage the last 3 months. Let me stop asking you. As long as you keep giving, they keep asking. So, you know, it's tough and it's weird, you know, and it's something that I have to deal with internally.
Damn, bro, that's deep. That's a lot. It's a lot to take in, and I can understand that. I'm a giver myself, and talking about giving, the season of giving is coming. You're gonna be giving me a new raise, a new paycheck.
Yo, did you just buy a G-Wagon?
Bruh, what?
Yo, let's clap for Gabe and his G-Wagon.
Yo,
man.
come on.
Talk about he need a raise. Come on.
If I had a G-Wagon, would I? Come on. You know me, I want a Tesla, bro. I want a Tesla.
You want a Tesla?
Yeah.
Dang, what you
Shout out to Elon.
Yo, can I email you the coins I got so you can tweet about it?
Red? Bro, we should make our own coin.
Come TPW coin.
TPW coin.
Coming, I don't know.
TPW NFT. Come on. Oh, you gotta do everything now at this point.
Oh, we working on the NFT. Don't worry.
Oh, man.
That's coming soon. I'm not going to even give you the website yet. But it's coming soon. But just real quick, though, I just wanted to say something to the TPW family. Like, your mental health is critical, man. And if you are at the point in your life where you have had a lot of success, I'm pretty sure you have realized that is just one little piece of your daily mental health balance. You know, there's multiple ways you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself physically, financially, mentally, and don't allow other people's journey or story to determine where you should be at mentally. Because I know sometimes, I've had a lot of friends who really know my story and they will be going through a lot. And I would say, as your brother, as your friend, why didn't you come to me? It's priceless, to have a phone call. That just takes time. And if I'm really your friend, if I really care about you, I'm willing to give you that time. And people will say, hey, man, look at what you're going through. Look at the things that you're facing. How could I come to you with a problem? And here's what I used to always say. I had a friend who mom had cancer. And then I had another friend, crazy, it's like back to back, who mom had cancer. One of my friends used to say, Jonathan, I know this sounds crazy. As a medical professional, you should understand, I'm happy. She's been through so much. I just want to go in peace. I want to enter this new realm. His faith was big. His faith was important. He said, it's okay, man. I'm really at peace with this. I just want her to stop suffering. And this world has done nothing but made my mom suffer. And, I was like, wow, that perspective was just something I never heard of. Then I called my other friend. It was a mess. He was like, I'm going to kill myself if something happened to my mom. I cannot live without her. I am not ready. And I was like, same situation, but two different perspectives. And I couldn't go to this friend and say, hey, look at him. He understands that this is just part of life and he's accepting it because it's not fair because what he's going through mentally has nothing to do with what my other friend was going to. And that's how you guys have to see it. You have to understand that your mental health journey is strictly about you. Not what this person's going through, not to try to put a label on this person and say his trauma is worse than yours. You are in control and you determine how things make you feel. And no matter how it makes you feel, you have to find ways and outlets to deal with that mental health and positive outlets, because we all have outlets and the majority of us choose bad outlets, whether it's drugs, whether it's drinking, whether it's, having an outburst or outlash, whether it's taking out other people. So, mental health is critical and we really have to pay attention to these things and we really have to focus on these things.